Good morning to a very, very sunny Spain, or that's what the weather forecast said.
It's sunny somewhere, I'm sure.
Sunny somewhere. We're heading out today, mainly because we've got to go to a place called Xàtiva, which is about an hour away. And the only real reason we originally planned this was that Alison has bought online a fleece jacket that she loves. She's already got one.
I've got a pale blue one, but I needed a navy one.
Needed a navy one.
That was the only one that was left.
That we could find within at least striking distance of home. But while we're there, Xàtiva is a very old and historic town, and so we're going to have a bit of a look around, see the castle. We hope, but like I said,
Just like this.
It was supposed to be 20 degrees and bright sunshine today, and so far all we've seen is rain. What we have done though is, on the way down, we've been wanting to see this, and I'll show you now, which is the local dam. And I've got to say, that's quite incredible. Right, we're going to head back because we're getting very wet.
Just a bit. I'm so glad I dried my hair before we left.
Yeah. Right, we're going to get back in the car and head on. So we're actually on the way up the mountain road to the castle, and in typical us fashion, we've just dumped the road on the side of the car because...
Dumped the car on the side of the road, even.
Did I just...
Yes.
Okay.
He meant we've dumped the car on the side of the road, not we've dumped the road on the side of the car.
Yeah, that way round. But the reason we've dumped the road on the side of the car is because this is absolutely incredible. And this is not even the main part of the castle. So this is the Torre del Sol
Sun Tower.
Sun Tower, and it's about halfway up. But this number 7, so we are here. And we've still got to go all the way. Geez, you've already stopped. Up there. Oh, you can see why it's called the Tower of the Sun.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. Right then.
You might want to reverse a bit and then try and come up on that. Oh. Hello.
Hello. Should we go up then?
Yeah. You really need need to tell me when you're still recording.
Darling,
Still recording.
still recording. Right, so we've made it up to the car park.
Yes.
We've now just got to do the walk up to the actual castle. And yeah, we'll show you around when we get in there. And by the way, the sun we were promised today has finally made an appearance. So we look like we've got a glorious afternoon. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's just a shame it's so hazy because that view is really spectacular when it's not. You can't see half as far today, can you?
We came here about, was it 4 years ago now, and the views are absolutely incredible. You can see for... I dread to think how far you can see. Unfortunately, like Alison said, it is a bit hazy today, and therefore the distance you can see is somewhat reduced. But it's still amazing.
It's still pretty impressive.
Right, we need to go and buy some tickets. Hola, dos saldos. Sí. So that is 12 euros for two of us. So that's coming at 12 euros, 6 euros each. We've got a map. It kind of looks.
Map last time.
It looks more like a placemat you'd expect on a table, but
Yeah.
right. So you want to now head over to the older part of the car?
Yeah.
Right.
Because when we came last time, it was being refurbished. We didn't get to go in there, so we've never been up there,
Yeah.
and it looks lovely.
We're now heading up towards the oldest part of this castle, and from what we've read, it's Roman times. Is that correct?
Iberian and Roman foundations.
Yeah.
It's apparently the princess or the queen that was married to Hannibal gave birth to their child here in 216.
So it's quite old then.
Yeah.
Right. Right, let's get up there. Let's get in. It's a bit of a steep old climb, actually.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Miranda would be so proud.
We're in the stable, so Alison feels the need to
Gallop.
be a horse. Gallop.
Gallop akin Miranda.
Dreamer, kidnap me. Take me back, all the way back to them days. Running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot.
You do realise that's not the public ones. Oh, it literally just goes down and out onto the field. You know what? I think the price of admission, €6. I'd pay it just to see these views.
This was the Queen's balcony.
Oh, this was the Queen's balcony.
Yes. This was the Queen's tower. It's pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Unfortunately, this place closes at 6 o'clock. I mean, you could probably spend hours just staring at the scenery. Then on top of that, obviously there's this incredible castle, and this castle is huge. Like I said, we're still in the old part of the castle here. We've got the whole other side, which is, I believe, about 4 times the size of this part.
bigger, isn't
And yeah, let's go see more. Up we go. So they've given us steps, and now we have to climb up the rocks. Don't go breaking any legs. By the way, it's probably advisable to let you guys know that if you watched the previous video, I mentioned that Alison had a case of vertigo. She's a lot better, but occasionally we still have the odd wobble. So for today, darling, you're banned from standing on the edges of things.
Definitely not going to stand on the edge of anything.
Not today. We were just saying that there's some areas here that are clearly the original 800 odd year old castle, and there's other areas where I understand they've restored and rebuilt areas really to help maintain the structure of this place. Okay, slight correction on my previous thing. 2,000 year old walls. Roman times.
Roman times.
Roman times, yeah.
Roman times.
Yeah. So we're now at the panoramic view, and again, I don't know if this is going to come out to such a misty day, but not this first set of mountains here, but the ones right over in the distance. That's actually the Safor mountain that's right behind Betrius. There's home. Now, I'm gonna say this, but first up, actually, before anyone starts putting comments down below about risking stuff and putting our lives at danger, we are being very sensible about Alison's vertigo, but it is a little bit like wandering around a castle with a drunk person occasionally.
Thanks. Thanks very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it, my darling. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Where to now, tour guide?
Well, this bit's on the map,
But
it's not signed as anything. When we get to the top, we've got the round tower on the left, which isn't looking very round.
no, not at all.
And 3 Ballyback great guns.
Yeah. The interesting thing with these guns is they seem to be pointing at the other castle on the other side. I don't know. Maybe they weren't friends. And you'll find that one on Instagram.
Just saying. I was just saying this clearly has an Islamic influence.
So we're now just walking up towards the top, and I was just thinking in my head that, I mean, how old is this castle? This part here.
This half is medieval, 13th to the 15th century, I think.
Wow, okay, so that's what, 700-800 years old?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that it's quite incredible to think that people have walked up this stretch of path, road, whatever you want to call it, for 800 years. So this apparently is the third gate of the upper castle.
So if you're under attack, you can just keep closing your layers off.
Yeah, and they just have to climb up behind you and try and break through each door.
Oh,
Wowzers.
look at the round window.
Yeah. For all of us that are young enough, there's the round window.
Do you think Hamble's inside?
Ooh. This looks like a crypt or something.
I think this is the chapel that's got the bones of that chap that was a prisoner here. Santa Maria Chapel, where are we? The main chapel of the castle, rebuilt in the first half of the 15th century by Queen Maria, wife of Alfonso el Magnanimo.
So these things are some kind of seats. I don't know what they're for. I don't know, they're waiting chairs for going in the little chapel or something, but
I would say so. I don't know.
you can just imagine people hundreds of years ago just sat in there waiting for their turn to confess their sins to their priest or something.
It's the prison cell of Jaume II, the Count de Urgell, or Urgell, who died here on the 1st of June 1433. Legend has it he'd spent so long in the dark, he came out into the daylight, was blinded by the sunlight and then died. Maybe he was a vampire.
So this is Ducky Ducky and through.
Oh, Ducky Boots.
Ducky Boots. Wow. How long was he in here for?
Can't remember.
Can you imagine this being your home?
And the electric light bulb wouldn't have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd had a candle.
You are indeed correct. No electric light bulbs in here.
Maybe had a candle.
Right. We have nearly made it to the top. And I'm not going to jinx it until we get up this last step. No accidents, no broken bones.
We've got to get back down again.
And wow. How about this? For a view. It's not very often we're left completely speechless, but
Actually, no.
wow. I mean, we are so high now. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, that's the older castle, and we're a long way up from that. We're a lot higher, aren't we?
That's where the car is. Where those white lines
Yeah.
are. We're just round the corner from it.
Yeah, Ellison just pointing down here somewhere. You probably can't see it, but there's some cars down there. That's where we're parked, and this is how far we've come up just within inside the castle. you can see why this castle is so successful. It's just, there is no way anybody is going to be able to sneak up on you when you've got that amount of distance you can see. Right, so we've now made it back down and we're heading back down to the car. And I think the plan is now is to get back on the road and go back to the dam we saw this morning. Now we've actually got some sunshine and it's not
Chucking it
raining.
down.
And yeah, hopefully get to see a bit more. We'll also explain something else when we get there, because we may park somewhere a little different this time.
What, you mean the car park that we spotted the other side of the dam
Yeah.
after we drove over it?
We did it again. We stuffed the car in the side of a wooded area and wandered through and climbed down things to get there, and then we got to the other side of the dam and there's an official car park for it, so we might go with the easy option on the way back.
Yeah, let's go for the easy option.
Let's get back to the car and let's go
Scrambling
give
up
it a
that hill
shot.
was a
Yeah,
bit dodgy.
yeah. We'll see you there. Right, so we've now made it back to the dam, and first off, as you can see, Dame.
There's a really big car park. But it was on the other side of the dam to where we stopped, so
Yeah.
we didn't actually see it.
But yeah, big car park that we could have used instead of doing what we always seem to do, which is
Climb through bushes.
dump our car in places and climb.
But it's so much more fun to dump the car in places and climb.
We have to take our life in the hands and cross the road.
Luckily
And
it's a
let's
fairly
see.
straight road and you can see for a very long way whether there's anything coming or not.
And I believe up here is a viewpoint. With a bit of luck.
I hope so.
To be fair to us, yes, that's the official car park, and yes, this is the official viewpoint, but I think the view we had on the other side was better.
Yes, I agree. Come on, let's walk across it and find a better view.
Yeah. We're going to see if we can walk on it. I think the only way you've actually known if we're allowed to walk on it is to walk on it
And see if we get showered
to
at.
see if anybody shouts at us. So we're going to take a punt
The rebels.
and we're going to wander down this, we're calling it a footpath. Officially now in our world, this is a footpath. And if it's not, we'll all just blame Alison.
Holy shit! They were really making the most
Of that very, very straight road. And I got hold of this because I knew there was going to be a side draft.
That definitely wasn't 40. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut across the other side of the road and
I might enjoy it slightly better.
walk that way. Yeah, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know if you can see, so it is safe with this and this railing thing, but let's quickly run across the road here. But it was playing with our brains and our sense of balance a bit, to be honest with you. Something we have just noticed in the reservoir here, and I don't know if this is clear on the camera, but just here there is a electricity pylon sticking out, which tells us that at one point, probably not in the so distant past, this area was probably inhabited.
The road that we were going to try this morning, that it
Yeah.
said you can't go down because it's flooded,
Yeah.
that's where it comes out.
Yeah.
It just goes into the water.
So this is the gravel road Alison's talking about here, that just obviously once was, like we say, there's the electric pylon there. So obviously this road, yeah,
Must have gone to that house.
that house that's somewhere in there. Right, so we've actually come down, we've managed to find a side road down to the bottom of the dam, and look at this. I mean, that's incredible. Look at this. I don't know how often they that, what do you call it, spillway sluices have water coming down. I bet that's pretty spectacular, and that's going.
Well, this goes all the time, I imagine, and I would have thought the bits that they normally send the water through, if they want to offload them, would be those two there,
Yeah.
because these were really quite high up out of the water,
Yeah.
weren't they?
We showed some footage a little while ago, like Alice was saying, these are really quite high off the water, but these two shoots, whatever they are, were a lot lower. So, but it doesn't look here like there's been much water go down them for a very long time. So we'll take some video as we leave, but as we came in, there's actually a caravan site here. €2 for a night is phenomenal, and this gentleman here is the owner of the most incredible I was going to say also caravana, but that's Spanish, but the most incredible motorhome we've ever seen. We'll show you some video. So we've just pulled over because, as you can see, the sun is now slowly setting behind the mountains over there. Today for us has been incredible. I think €6 for that castle is great value. Seriously, if you're ever in this area, if you ever get near Šetava, go and see that castle. It's incredible. Now, with that said, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
I'm going